guys, how are you doing? It is Shahida J, and I am here today to tell you about banks that I use or bank accounts that I have set up, and to tell you how I use those accounts. So, not giving away too much. You kind of see my cards. I have a debit card with Unify, Navy Federal, Ally, and Chime. So I think my oldest bank is probably Navy Federal or Chime. Those are the two that I've had the longest, if not one more than the other, and then Unify, and then Ally. So the reason why, and forgive me that I may get a little winded, I've been sick, so just trying to get this video out to you guys. I'm trying to become more consistent and record at least one video a week. So I've gone over my budget with you guys, my plan for my budget for what I plan to do in 2023, and I actually plan on making a video planning the first quarter of 2023. I'm the type of person that I need to see things out on paper. That helps me stick to my plan, hopefully. So let's start with the bank. So like I said, I have, and I'll just kind of put it in order in which I think is oldest to youngest. So with Navy Federal, then I have Chime, and I probably should write it a different way, but then I have Unify and Ally. So Unify and Navy Federal are both credit unions. With most credit unions, you can get your check deposited up to 2 days earlier. So that's the main reason why I keep the Unify account. That is where the bulk of my money gets deposited into. So each of the accounts get a deposit. So I direct deposit, direct deposit, direct deposit, and direct deposit. So for Ally, I deposit $75 in Ally. Chime gets about $100. I think right now Navy Federal is getting about $75 as well, and Unify gets the remainder. And I can't spell, so the remainder. Now, I do have two other accounts that are on that I direct deposit into. One of them is an account that deposits my rent. That way, it takes half of my rent out. It takes $1,000 out of every paycheck to pay my rent, so I don't have to worry about my rent getting paid. And then I recently opened up another account called Fidelity Bloom. I have a debit card for that account. I have direct deposit set up for that account. That is going to get $100 deposited into it, and I'm going to use that money for me. So if I need money during the week, or I need to buy something during the week that's not budgeted, that's where that money is going to go. That's what I'm going to use that money for. Ally, so Ally, I have a checking account and one savings account. And if you know anything about Ally allows you to use buckets. So I created about 7 to 10 buckets that are attached to my savings account to help me save. So in addition to the money that I'm going to save in the home, or basically how the plan is to go, the money that I save in my excuse me, from my sinkings funds and my savings challenges, that money, my savings challenges are here. So once I meet a savings challenge, I will deposit that money into the savings bucket that's in Ally. So I'm pretty much going to have a bucket to match all of these. I'm going to have a Christmas bucket. Now, I don't have Ally pulled up, but I have a few buckets over there, and they kind of line up with my sinking funds. not my sinking fund, sorry, my savings challenges that I have set up. The main reason why I use this account as my main savings account is because of the interest rate that it's giving me. It's giving me about a 4%. Whereas I have savings accounts with these other accounts, but I'm not getting 4% interest. So that's why I use Ally or Ally. And that's primarily, like I said, a savings bank, or the reason why I use this bank is for savings. I don't use the checking account as much unless I'm transferring money from the savings account into the checking account because I need to spend it. Like today, I needed an air fryer. So I borrowed the money from myself, borrowed the money from my savings, and spent that money and just transferred that money into my checking account with Ally and used that debit card. Now, with Ally or Ally, I am able to get my direct deposit 2 days earlier. Similarly to the Unified Credit Union, those two usually hit on the same day. So with Unified, I have one checking account, one savings account, right? This used to be the bank that I had like my car loan through. I was able to take out personal loans. I want to open up a second checking account because I want to establish a bill account and then an everyday spending account. But I found out when I went to open that account that I had an account that was closed that I owe money in. So I have to pay that off before I can open up another account. Completely forgot about that. That was from 2002. Add that to my list of debts. So with Chime, I have a checking account, I have a savings account, and then I have a secured credit card. So, secured credit card. With Chime, I also get my direct deposit 2 days earlier. So, whereas the pay date would be on Monday, I will get paid. It could vary sometimes. Sometimes I can get paid before 5 o'clock Eastern. Other times I get paid at 5 o'clock Eastern, but I get paid early. This used to be my primary account, but because Unify is more consistent in their releasing of my funds, I chose to have majority of my money in Unify. Now, Unify was a bank that is a partner with my employer. And so we have a branch in our office, but now I work mostly from home. Since it is a credit union, I can go to Old Navy, which is pretty much not Old Navy, sorry. I can go to Navy Federal, which is about a 10-minute walk, if that, a few minute walk from my house. Because I'm not driving right now, I can walk to the bank if I need to withdraw money. Also, another thing, another place that I use to bank, if you go into a Wawa and they have a PNC ATM, sorry guys for the dogs, the PNC ATMs usually are free. So you can go in there and withdraw whatever you need from that bank and from that ATM and then take your money and go. Now, that's on rare occasions. When I can't get to Navy Federal, I'll go to the PNC bank or ATM. The PNC ATM in Wawa, not the PNC bank. They charge. So, where was I? I was with Chime. So, Chime used to be, as I said, my primary, but since I'm using Unify now, I only deposit $100 into this account. Now, with my Chime account, because I've had it for so long, I actually have a line of credit with them. I have a line of credit of about $200 that I can overdraft and not be charged a fee. They just ask for a, they ask for like a tip or something. But you can tip if you can. If you can't, that's understandable as well. But of course, if you tip, it's better. Now, the line of credit, I was using that like that was money. And then I would get every other week, I would use it up to the max. And then every other week, When I get paid, there's $200 gone. Goal for, well, what I've started and what I'm going to continue is not to use that line of credit at all, if possible, and only in cases of emergency. You cannot withdraw the money from that account. You can't even use it in certain places. It will not let you use it. It's basically for emergencies like food and gas. I will say that. So that's what's in my Chime. That's how my Chime account is set up. With Navy Federal, I have I have a regular checking account, and then I have a second checking account, which is a bills checking account. I use that account to only pay bills through. I do not use, I have a debit card for that account so that I can set up bill payments, but only budgeted bills. I do not swipe that card for anything else. I only use the debit card to set up payments because the transactions are faster in most cases when you use your debit card. I have a savings account. And then I do have a credit card, but that card needs to be paid off. So that is a debt that needs to be paid off. So I'm working on that. So each of these accounts have a specific purpose. Like I said, my bill checking account in Navy Federal, only for bills. I hope to duplicate that. My goal is to duplicate that in Unify, only because I have the remainder of my of my paycheck goes into Unify. Now, I have been thinking about if I want to change that to have the remainder of my money go into Ally, and then have maybe $75 go into Unify. I haven't decided that yet. The one thing that I'm leaning against it is because I cannot get to a physical bank with Ally. They don't have physical banks. I like to have a physical bank. So this does its job, and I kind of don't want to confuse this with some of the things that I'm trying to do. So that's why I don't want my money mingling too much. I separate my money, kind of started off to hide it from myself, but I just realized it makes me think a little bit more when I have to pull a certain card. My ultimate goal, what I'm working on, is my 1 month ahead, which is going to go here. And forgive me, I can't write. So 1 month ahead is going to go into my Navy Federal account. Chime, I'm probably going to phase it out. I'll use it. I may have some money deposited into it, but similarly to if I stop using a line of credit, that'll give me $100 in that account. Now, remember I said I have a secured credit card. So because I don't want to use my credit cards, because my goal is to pay those off, the bonus about this is with this secured card, I can deposit, say I want to rent a car, and I know my car rental is going to be about $200 and something for like a week or whatever. And usually with secured cards, usually with car rentals, you have to have a deposit that they can hold. So I can just deposit the $500 onto that secured card, and then let them hold the $250 and then pay the other amount for the actual rental itself. And that'll probably be the main purpose of me using that card. Unify. So now what I'm thinking about now is using, like I said, with Unify, I want to get that second checking account, but I have to pay off what I owe first. My other thought would be to get a secondary account in Ally, a secondary checking account, which will be used only for bills in Ally. But that would only be necessary if I deposit the remainder of my check there. Because what I've done now, or what I've started to do now, is withdraw the money from Unify for my bills, deposit it into Navy Federal, and leave the money there until the bills start to get paid. As the bills, either some of them are automated, like subscriptions and things are automated. So I'll let that process on its own. You know, I'll let those come out on their own as long as there's money there to cover it, and then initiate payments for the other bills that I have to pay. Okay. So, this 5th account is a new account. So I'm still learning some things about it, or finding some things out about this account. This account was an account that I opened with Fidelity. It's called Fidelity Bloom. And it is a save, and this is the card for it, really cute. It's a save and invest account combined with a checking account. So this is a Visa card. I can use it anywhere. What happens is when money is deposited to that account, I can split it into it automatically splits. So say I'm gonna have $100 deposited. So say I deposit $100. Right now I think it's like a 60-40 or something like that, like a 60-40 split. Excuse me, my throat is getting dry because of this cold. So right now, 60% will go to spending. 40% is going to go into the saving/investment account. And in that investment account, I can buy stocks, I can buy bonds, I can buy different things. I recently became more familiar with my stock purchase plan that my company offers. So I'm going to begin to invest more, because I've been able to take what I had and kind of split it up amongst my stocks. I gave each of my children a share of stock for them to do with. Of course, my boys, they're older, so they're able to break it up, split it, sell it, do whatever they want with it once they get familiar. My daughter, hers just is kind of sitting. The plan is to add and invest more money into it and buy more stock, so that when she gets older, she has that. They're in a custodial account. So working on getting more familiar with stock purchasing and selling and things like that. So that's what I'm working on in the future. If you guys have any ideas, I kind of broke down my accounts with you. If you guys have any ideas or any suggestions for me, feel free to leave them in the comment. Thank you very much for subscribing, and I appreciate all the feedback that I've been getting. You guys are great. Again, please like, share, and subscribe. Again, thank you from Shahida J. Bye.